Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Okay, it is a Thursday, and a reminder, our title sponsor, ableauctions.ca. Delaney's OK Tire and Langley inbox just ahead of John Shannon. Guys, this is from Donkey. Guys, Johnny Gaudreau eats ham and cheese sandwiches religiously, just like Ryan. He's just a bit different. He wanted to go to Columbus. His decision, not sure any of us will ever understand.
Yeah.
Interesting. He's a ham and cheese guy, much like you. Just butter on some white bread. Away we go to Columbus. Thanks for that, Donkey. NHL analyst, co-host of the Bob McCown podcast, John Shannon. Thanks for doing this, sir, for a final time, at least in this go-around of Donnie and Dolly. How are you?
Good. That's a relief for this go-around. That's better.
Yeah. No.
But by the way,
back.
Rick.
Yeah.
When you go from Vancouver to Calgary, you'd probably take 8 hours to drive it. How long would it take to fly?
Hour.
Okay.
Hour and a half, maybe.
Okay. So when you're in Philadelphia,
yeah,
and your son's playing in Columbus, would you drive or fly?
Yeah, you probably fly.
Yeah, that's an hour.
That's an hour.
So we're making too big a but the media in general making too big a deal of the distance.
Everybody, though, John, everybody yesterday was saying it's 8 hours from Columbus to Philadelphia. Everybody.
8 hour
drive. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well,
come on now.
But we're trying to make
$70 million.
Yeah.
In NetJet head offices in Columbus, you're going to get a deal.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just trying to make sense of his comments that he told the Flames he was leaving because of family, John. And, family, last time I checked for him, is in New Jersey and Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I think what's really happened here is that Johnny Gaudreau gave his agent, Louis Gross, a list of teams. And once they made the decision to not go back to Calgary, remember, Gaudreau married last summer. His wife is pregnant now. Made the whole family decision first. I think Columbus was on that list, and I think that there was a good two-way conversation that started no earlier than 48 hours ago.
He's holding a press conference right now, allowing the Columbus media to get to him. But yesterday, he had a quote in The Athletic saying that every time he went to Nationwide Arena, every time the Flames played a game in Columbus, he was very impressed by the crowd, by the franchise, the atmosphere, all of that. Would you agree with that? I haven't been to a game in Columbus. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, no, I have a bias right now. One of my best friends is the president of the club, John Davidson. But I think Nationwide Arena is one of the best built, compact, loud arenas in the NHL. Columbus itself as a city is really, it's a college town, guys. It's Ohio State. It's the home of some of the biggest retail companies in the United States. It is Middle America. And the suburbs in Columbus are just fantastic. Dublin, Ohio, where Jack Nicklaus has his course. It is really a cool spot. Totally underrated. I can see Johnny Gaudreau falling in love with the fans there, the arena there. It's funny, the last time I was there with the Calgary Flames was Father's Trip. And I spent a lot of time with John Monahan, Sean's dad, and Guy Gaudreau, Johnny's dad. And they couldn't stop raving about the city of Columbus and how much fun they had at the arena. So you can file that one away. But I do think that the love of Middle America, what it stands for, and it was on a list that Johnny felt that he could play. The biggest concern for me is all the stars seem to be going back to the East. The Eastern Conference is getting stronger and stronger and stronger again. And it does give you pause for concern of when are all the stars going to start re-signing in the West?
Yeah, no good. Well, and I'm going to bring you to somebody in the West that needs either to be re-signed or traded, JT Miller. One thing, John, I have learned about Jim Rutherford here in the last few weeks, incredible patience, and he really doesn't care about the fans or the media and what they think. He's going to do what's right for the franchise, and if it takes a little bit longer, This guy's got incredible patience, John.
I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
I think we and let me throw this out at you. And in talking to a couple of people in the organization in the last 72 hours,
Yep.
They love JT Miller.
Yep.
They think JT Miller can be a key part of this organization. And the evaluation that I think they're going through is that the deal if there is a deal for Miller, because I'm not suggesting there is one. If there is a deal for Miller at this point, it has to be perfect for the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah.
And that's where your comment, Rick, about Rutherford and Patrick Allvin's patience is so important, because they're not going to do it unless it makes 100% sense for the Vancouver Canucks.
Yep. All right, I asked everybody in Toronto, we got to ask about this Mikheyev player that the Canucks signed yesterday. What does he bring to the table?
Well, first of all, the Maple Leafs did not want to lose him. They wanted him back, but they had no money to sign him.
No money, because
they had no money.
Yeah, and every year, Johnny, quickly, they lost Hyman. Now they lost this guy. And every year, because they've got all the money, $40 million, tied up in 4 guys.
Well, and add Morgan Riley to that, it's almost $50 million with 5.
5.
So I would tell you right now, they're probably more disappointed in losing Mikheyev than they would be Hyman.
Really?
Simply because of his age and his speed.
Right.
I was told in the middle of March that there was going to be no way they could keep him, just because of arithmetic. So from that perspective, what the Canucks are getting, I think, is one of the fastest players in the game.
Yep.
A guy has great finish. And I know you guys talked about it earlier on Dan Milstein's role, but I think it's so vitally important when you're bringing somebody like Kuzmenko over to have another Russian player that he can confide in and bond with is really important. In any situation, particularly a different country. And so I think it's a brilliant move by the Canucks.
John, you tweeted something out that a lot of people haven't brought to the forefront recently, and that's that many of these moves were made, and you look at some of the contracts that were doled out, there's obviously a lot of money there, but many of these moves were made in the anticipation that the salary cap is going to go up. And we heard, Gary Bettman talking about record revenues last week. What do you expect cap-wise?
Well, I think for the next 2 years, we're going to see this $1 million a year situation. We're at 82.5. We'll go to 83.5, 80, maybe 84. But after when the 24 season ends, the 23-24 season ends, we're going to see it go into the 90s, Donnie. Mm-hmm. And before the collective bargaining agreement ends 6 years from now, we're going to see it close to $100 million. So that when you see Eric Chernak and Anthony Cirelli and Sergachev get these long-term deals in Tampa, and you're going 8 years, wow, that's a long time. They're counting money that they know is going to be down the pipe 2 years from now, and so they're just trying to get through the next 2 years, and then they'll be fine after that. I think there's a lot of general managers with a lot of pressure from owners. Saying we got to win now. You better sign guys. Some of these terms are a little longer than I expected. I'm sure you would both agree with that.
Yeah.
But they're doing it with money that they know is coming down after the 23-24 season.
Yep.
John, DeBrincat, Giroux, Talbot, they drafted 9 players. How impressed? It took a while, but how impressed are you with the job that Pierre Dorion has done in Ottawa over the last week or so?
No, I think it's done remarkable. Even moving money out, being able to get a second-round draft pick for Connor Brown and his $3.6 million contract yesterday. What Pierre Dorion has done is fulfill the plan that has been in place for a long period of time, long before Eugene passed away. This was supposed to be the summer that they were going to make the push, and they have done that. He's done that freely. He's really done an amazing job. And I will tell you right now, I don't think they're done. They really need to improve their defense. Thomas Chabot can't play every minute of every game. So they need to find a way, hence getting a few draft picks. They need to find a way to get another quality defenseman to help on the blue line. Otherwise, they're going to be entertaining to watch, but they may not win as many games as we think they would.
I'm looking at that shirt. You are ready for summer.
Oh,
That is yellow. Beautiful.
yellow, mellow.
Well, it makes the tan look better too.
Mellow yellow.
Yeah, if it's possible, you do look better. Somebody named Donald from Oliver says hi. Okay.
Oh, good. Hi, Don.
Yeah. I don't think it's the Donald. It's someone else. But he says hi. I don't know what your plans are for the summer, John, but have a great time. We're going to get you back in September. We can't say enough how much we enjoy having you on the show.
I'll tell you what, it's been a thrill for me to, as I've talked to you many times about being able to talk to my friends in my home province. And when you guys called and asked me, there was never any question that I would have wanted to be involved. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John. All the best. Have a great summer, like I said. Thanks, John.
You too, boys.
Appreciate it.